Like I mentioned in the last video, the the decision or choice uh, to to enter this journey, to start a spiritual journey, uh, was choiceless. My second child was born uh, disabled. Um, and his brother is also disabled. So when his brother was born, um, I realized taking care of a disabled child took up almost 60% of my time. Of, and that I wasn't okay with that. I loved my freedom, you know. I couldn't accept the fact that I will dedicate 6%, 50 to 6% of my life on earth to take care of another person. And so I decided I wasn't going to have more kids. But then I met my ex, and she wanted to have kids. And so it took about 6 or 7 years of conflicts. I couldn't. I mean, it was like I had to choose to face my fears of losing her and be my fear for judgment and so on. Just go on with it and have another child. And I was also really convinced somehow that if I was to have another child, the child will also the child will be born disabled. Of course, there there was there was nothing supporting that feeling, that sort of knowing, but it was there. The knowing was there, so that scared me too, because I know how much it costs to take care of a child, such a child with disabilities. But eventually, he he arrived, and he was disabled as well, of course. And so I had a huge crisis, I went into deep depression, uh, and it lasts about 2 years. Um, I mean, I was functioning like this. I was still able to work, to go to work and so on, because my work was kind of something I love to do. So um, but apart from that, I couldn't do anything else. Um, I was I had this my child overnight, because for some reason my child decided to only sleep with me, not with his mom. Um, and they it, it was really complicated, uh, mixed feelings I had. It's like I know I didn't want him. At the same time, I know I loved him. It was it's it's like I loved him for who he is, but not. I don't. When you have a deep desire to be a dad, there is some kind of joy in it, of being a father to a kid. It's like for you feel fulfilled. You feel some sort of you feel good about it. But I didn't feel that. So that went on um, for about 2 years. I've seen a doctor, talked about it, but it didn't really help that feeling of uh, loss. I lost my freedom. I lost um, a chance of having a life on earth. That feeling was just there. It was like there was nothing anyone could say that could give me back, that could help me see, uh, that will give me another perspective, about this issue. Um, so now I have a choice to make. Um, I mean, I always know that life is life that I have within me is my right. Is like it's my own. It's and I have every right to be and do whatever I wanted. Um, but now I didn't know I didn't know what to do. It's like I can't exercise. I couldn't exercise that right anymore. It's like I choose to breathe every time I take a breath, and yet I don't have a choice to be in a situation that I do not like. I mean, I've been in situations that I didn't like, but those situations were transitions towards something I loved. For instance, when I finished my studies in aircraft electronics, I had a choice. I could go back to Togo and work as officer in the army, or I could continue studying. That was what I loved to do. I wanted to study more, to know more about aircraft engineering and so on. So I had to desert the army and then try to find a school. I didn't have money, so I had to find a school, a free school where I could continue studying in aircraft engineering. So I was in France, and then and the school I found is in Sweden. So I had to make my way somehow from France to Sweden, and so after my studies in France, my work permit expired. So I had to so I went to Germany to Germany and stay with my family there, with my cousins, to examine the situation, what to do and how to do it. And so you see, that is it's like there has been a struggle in my path, but those struggles were acceptable for me because I was just in a transition from a state to another state, from a state I loved to be to another state I will love to be in. And so, I mean, the mind was crazy about all that. It's like I wasn't so sure if I was going to be able to study in Sweden. I mean, I had to learn the language, and I had to come here first. I mean, I could be like, they could just I could be reported back to Togo at any point in time because I was traveling without proper documents. but somehow I managed to come to Sweden and apply for asylum, and uh, and then I could study Swedish. I didn't have the right to study at school because I didn't have a permit. Um, so so I study by myself at home, and so eventually 2 years after I got my work permit, and I could start studying uh, at a university in Sweden. But I mean, um, there was nothing certain about. There was nothing that um, there was nothing certain about the outcome. I mean, I know everybody I knew, or every immigrant I knew in Sweden, even every Swedish people I knew, hasn't have not met an immigrant that can come into Sweden and study the language after 1 year, and then in the second year go on a Swedish engineering school. It's like it just it's but that was the thing. I wasn't. It was okay for me that as long as I was going for what I love to do, all the pain and suffering. I mean, my parents, my family abandoned. I abandoned my family for about 5 years during that time, because my family was pressing me to go to work, and to get a job and send them money and take care of them, because that's what people do. And of course, I didn't have money, so sometimes I didn't have anything to eat. But all that was okay as long as I was on to something. But now it's like it is all gone. There is nothing left. There is no way I could like live in that state, where I can't be who I am and do what I love to do, you know. So now I have two choices. I could end my life, which was acceptable because this I don't have any way of I couldn't accept this situation, and I don't have any other outcome, any other choice, any other solution for that, for the situation. And there was also this feeling that, because I had this fulfilling life experience up to that point in time, I also I realized I haven't really had this like peace of mind. I was always I was always pushing the boundaries of uh, of my awareness of the collective consciousness all the time. And so that put hard pressure uh, um, I mean, I know now that that's okay. I mean, I didn't know that back then. It was like it wasn't okay that my whole family turned their back on me. It was more like uh, it was so there was some resentment there. So I wasn't in peace with that. It was hard to be the one that everyone is talking about all the time, that never listen to anyone and just doing whatever he wants. So that feeling was there, that I didn't really have that sense of peace and uh, harmony, with everyone, with everybody, and um, joy. And although it was fulfilling when I finally arrived in the next state where I get to do what I watch, what I love to do, like studying uh, software engineering that I end up studying. It was fulfilling, but not that deep joy, because it was always somebody that's angry on me because I didn't listen to that. So I started wondering if there was any way I could experience that. Is Well, I mean, I've done all other stuffs, all other things, experiences you can have on Earth without experiencing peace and joy and so on. Um, so that gave me the second choice, ending my life or finding something else that will uh, that will give me what I now starting to fall in love with, peace, joy, and freedom. So I knew well that state, it has always been like that, for me at least. When a cycle of growth start ending, a new love. I start feeling a new desire, a love for something else, and then I enter another cycle, of course, with a transition, and so on, like I explained. Let's take a pause and continue in the next video. Thank you for watching.